In Oregon, volunteers are a main reason that organizations are able to open their doors and get projects done. The Standout Heritage Volunteers recognized in this category are nominated by heritage organizations across the state for their contributions to local heritage preservation efforts. The work of these volunteers is what brings us together as a state in valuing and preserving our shared history. Here are the 2022 Standout Heritage Volunteers. Robert Zimmerling with the Lewis and Clark National Historic Park. Bob and his dogs have volunteered at Lewis and Clark National Historical Park since 1985. They have been extraordinary ambassadors, helping make history interesting and accessible to countless people. Mary Patball with the Jefferson Historical Society and Museum. Patty's work ethic and enthusiasm for local historic structures has culminated in the restoration of the 1854 Jacob Concert House. Her grant writing has garnered nearly $70,000 for the project. Christine Deacon with the Oregon State Archives. Christine has been instrumental in archival processing and is an expert in uncovering hidden stories. She was especially noteworthy during the pandemic, as her social media stories were and still are very popular with the State Archives audience. Willie B Richardson with Oregon Black Pioneers. Willie has served as a board member since 1993. As board president, Willie guided OPB as it grew into a trusted source for research and storytelling on Oregon's Black heritage. Under her leadership, OBP has developed exhibits, publications, original programs, and educational projects that have impacted communities across the state. Robert Butler with the Melchior Country Historical Society. For his tireless work in restoring the old bank building in Vail, he brought awareness to the project, invested the community in the importance of the project, and helped raise the money to acquire and begin restoration of the building. Larry Landis with the Benton County Historic Resources Commission. Larry served on the commission for over 20 years. He is known locally and statewide as a champion for history and archives. As one fellow commission member stated, he leads by example and cares deeply about history, sharing history and helping to preserve it. Nothing is too small or too large for him, whether it be saving a bridge, county courthouse, leading a tour at OSU, or mentoring a new member of the HRC as he did for me 12 years ago. Larry gives of himself unconditionally to our community. If I had to choose some words to describe him, they would be mentor, friend, professional, leader, helper, supporter, activist, and always a teacher. Corey Messler Hammond with the Big Butte Historical Society. Corey, a beloved local business owner in Butte Falls, has helped Historical Society increase membership every month, making sure to recognize new and returning members. She has been instrumental in recruiting volunteers for community projects and is leading the charge on grant work for the Ernest Smith House, Old Caboose, and a month-long citywide heritage celebration. Barbara Trout with the Tillamook County Pioneer Museum and Kilchis Point Reserve. Barbara has served on the board for 20 years. During a staff shortage, Barb opened and closed the reserve gates, cleaned facilities, maintained trails, and made contact with visitors at the reserve, allowing the reserve to stay open. Bruce Carey with Friends of Kamwa Chung and Company Museum, part of Oregon State Parks. Bruce has volunteered at Kamwa Chung State Heritage Society since 2014. He's excellent at encouraging visitors to go on the guided tour and is also known to walk around town to promote Kamwa Chung to any and all visitors. He cares deeply about Kamwa Chung and has represented Oregon State Parks with professionalism and devotion. Carol Knapp with Sula Eagle Brewery Project. Carol has been an enthusiastic supporter and promoter of heritage in Jacksonville for decades. When the historic Eagle Brewery property came up for sale, she used her role in the process to ensure the cultural resources on the property were identified and protected as part of the sale. She's an invaluable partner on projects and jumps in to help with everything from fieldwork to lab work, engaging and overseeing students and digging in the archives. Oregon Post Commander David Solomon with the American Legion Post 19 in Albany. David has given back to his community and the local veterans in Oregon in so many ways, including playing Santa for the children at Christmas, working on the special event as MC for the September 11th Memorial, to helping pour coffee for veterans each day. Doug Reynolds with the USFS Malheur National Forest Passport in Time program. Doug has been volunteering for the Passport in Time projects since 2018. During projects, he's always the first to volunteer to do whatever is needed. He's very passionate about archaeology and devotes extra time to researching and identifying artifacts uncovered during survey or excavation. Eric Williams with the Astoria Public Library. Eric is responsible for the digitization of the Astoria Public Library's regional history collection. He has spent over 5,000 hours on the project, and his work is the highlight of the library's presence on permanent.org. His passion is evident in the numerous organizations he works with to preserve history for future generations. Gail Lewis with the Oregon Chinese Diaspora Project. Gail has been a supporter of the OCDP since its inception and has dug into all aspects of the project, ranging from fieldwork, lab work, public outreach, to buying the crew pizza and treats to keep productivity and morale up. Her deep connections to Southern Oregon and strong commitment to high-quality heritage programming has made her a foundational part of the project's public outreach efforts and ongoing success. The Oregon State Capitol Volunteer Team with Oregon State Capitol and Capitol History Gateway. This team volunteers thousands of hours annually to help promote and engage the over 200,000 annual visitors in the experience of the Capitol. Stevehussey with the Archaeological Society of Central Oregon. As board president, Steve has kept the momentum and pivoted for presentations, field trips, the site stewardship program, and assistance to archaeologists and students working in Central and Eastern Oregon. He led the effort to modernize ASCO's website presence and membership interface, and has been an active member of the Archaeology Roadshow Working Group. William Bill Sparks III with the Grand Lodge of Oregon Cemetery Committee. Bill has taken it upon himself to clean and care for cemeteries that were not being properly cared by picking up garbage, mowing, and raising and lowering the American flag, where there was an empty flagpole for several years. Bill travels all over Oregon to help cemetery caretakers that are overwhelmed by the "where do I start" issue by helping them prioritize, and jumps right into what needs to be done. Carla Wright with the Prairie City Historic Cemetery District. Carla is the person to call for anything to do with the cemetery. She keeps track of the financials, sells lots, and arranges all things to do with funeral services. She's kind and loving to everyone she meets and always smiles. Thank you to all recipients of the Standout Heritage Volunteer Award for your time, efforts, and passion. And to all heritage volunteers across the state, the work you do matters.